Hey guys, today we've got some gluten-free macaroni and we've got some cheese. So why don't we make some gluten-free mac and cheese? But not just any mac and cheese. We're gonna make gluten-free Panera mac and cheese. That's right, we're gonna make a copycat gluten-free mac and cheese recipe. So let's get started and I'll show you how easy it is to make this stovetop version. So to start, we've got the stove on, I've got some water in a pot boiling, and you wanna cook 8 ounces of your favorite shortcut gluten-free pasta. I'm using shells today. You could also use gluten-free macaroni or any other gluten-free shortcut pasta that you can find. What are your favorite brands? Leave them in the comments below. What are your pasta cooking problems? Because it doesn't cook exactly the same as gluten pasta. Leave those questions down below. I'd love to hear from you. So let's get started on our cheese sauce mix while our pasta cooks. So while our pasta is cooking, we are gonna make our cheese sauce for this Panera mac and cheese. So we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in a saucepan. And we're gonna turn that on over medium-high heat. And we wanna melt this down. And get your whisk ready because we're gonna be whisking this sauce to keep it smooth. Once our butter is melted and starts to sizzle, we want to add 2 tablespoons of gluten-free flour, and I am using King Arthur 1-to-1. So we want to add that in there, and you want to whisk it for about a minute until everything's smooth. And we're basically making a roux. Once this is cooked for about a minute, we want to bump our heat down from medium-high down to medium. And we want to add some seasoning. So I'm adding half a teaspoon each of kosher salt, ground mustard, and ground black pepper. You can adjust the pepper and the salt as you like, a little more or a little less. Give that a quick stir. Once that is all mixed in, we can add our 1 cup of heavy cream. That goes in there. We're also going to add half a cup of regular milk. I'm using 1%, but you could use 1%, 2%, skim, whatever you typically use. So you want to keep whisking this over medium heat until it bubbles and thickens, which is going to take 5 to 10 minutes. And once it does, we will get our cheese in there, and we are going to use 4 ounces of shredded white cheddar. This is a sharp white cheddar, and you want to shred this yourself, guys, because you don't want any of those anti-caking agents that they use in the bag stuff. This is the time to actually take a few minutes and shred it yourself so you'll get better results. So I'm going to keep whisking this until it's ready, and then we will add our cheese. As you can see, it's already starting to thicken, and it's really only been on here probably 3 or 4 minutes, if that. So it doesn't take that long at all. We're gonna give it another minute or so. It's not bubbling, but these pans don't always bubble like stainless steel would, and it's pretty thick. So I'm gonna turn my burner down to low. So we started at medium-high, we went to medium, and now we're putting it way down on low, and we're gonna add our cheese. I'm gonna add it a little bit at a time, give it a whisk, and once it's mostly melted, I'll add some more because we want to make sure it's smooth. All right, and now that that's all melted and smooth and cheesy, I'm going to turn that burner off, and I'm just gonna leave this on the burner for a moment while I drain my pasta, and then we will mix the two together. So here's our pasta. I drained it, I did not rinse it. I want a little bit of water on there because that's gonna help loosen this sauce back up if it needs to. We're gonna pour all of this over it. And then you want to stir it gently. We don't want to break up the pasta if we can help it. And guys, this is really loose at the moment, but as it sits for a few minutes, it's gonna firm back up a little bit. It'll still be creamy, but it won't be quite as soupy looking. So I'm gonna let that rest for a minute and we will give it a taste. Okay guys, here it is, our gluten-free Panera mac and cheese. It's our own at-home copycat version of this. I put a little bit of parsley on top just to give it a little bit of color because it's macaroni and cheese. It doesn't have much color, especially when you use white cheddar. So I've got a little spoonful here that I actually took out of the pot. So I'm gonna taste this instead of this because this is part of our dinner this evening and I probably don't need to dig into the big bowl of mac and cheese. Guys, it's creamy. It's got some good flavor from that sharp cheddar, a little bit of dried mustard that we used, the pepper. I don't think you need to add extra, but always adjust those seasonings if you need to for dietary restrictions or personal preference. The macaroni / shells, whatever you choose to use, don't overcook them. That's gonna make this mushy, and that's not what we want. So I think I did pretty good with this copycat recipe. Hopefully you give it a try and enjoy it too. Please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks guys.